What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Headless's Magical Mailbag. I got my co-host Nick joining me here tonight. He's a little bit sick, so Nick, tell him where they can find you.
At the Occult Rejects. That's on all major podcasts. BitChute, well, not really. I mean, I'm totally honest, you can go on BitChute and find stuff, but I don't think I posted shit there in probably a year. It's just a pain in the ass platform. But BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. And yeah, all major podcasts. And we do also have occultresearchinstitute.org. I keep forgetting to promote that. If you like to read, there is tons and tons of free information on there. So
Absolutely. We've got a couple of interesting symbols tonight. I'll start with mine. It's so simple.
Okay.
I had to just do the torch. The torch. What could be said about the torch? It's the symbol of heaven. It's also the symbol of the underworld. It's the symbol of enlightenment. It's the symbol of carrying the truth with you. And it's associated with Prometheus as well as Hecate and the underworld goddesses and gods. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the torch in Greek symbolism, as well as what we're going to be talking about a little bit later, which is the Zarathustrian reference of the fire worshippers. So the Zarathustrians, right, the ones who worshipped the Mithras cult in Persia, had a constantly burning fire. They've got a fire over there now that I think has been burning for, I don't know, 4,000 years. So they've just been constantly feeding it. And it's by far one of the oldest continual fires in existence. There was one in Rome, but they put it out after, Christianity took over. So they had about 700 years in Rome of having that fire go. But then obviously that wasn't good enough. But the idea with the torch is that this is sort of your helping hand, your view in total black, bleak obscurity. That's the thing. That's the word keeps popping up when it comes to darkness in the Greek languages. Obscurity, the obscure depths. So it's the idea of having the light reach your eyes and being given a path out. A lot like the Orphic fable of him going down to get his wife, bringing her up to the surface, and then turning around too early to find that she's now faded back into a ghost and he will never see her again. So the idea is that this is your opportunity, this is your golden chance. And when the torch pops up, it's something to keep in mind, especially if you think about the clubs, right? It's the clubs, I think. It's also called the staves in tarot, right? So get all that fiery energy. That's a very torch-like symbol. So yeah, the torch. It pretty much goes everywhere. So you better not leave the house without one. What do you got, Nick?
Yeah, we got this one. Oh, you know what? I already forgot how to. Let me look at that word again. I already forgot how to pronounce it. Faravahar. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, oh, how the hell do you say this thing? Faravahar. Most people probably know it from Zoroastrianism. Yeah, a bearded figure. What are you looking at? A bearded figure emerging from a winged ring, one hand raised, the other holding a ring, often read as a covenant ring or a diadem. It crowns royal scenes on, how to say this, Achaemenid, maybe, monuments from Darius, the Histone cliff relief to palace doorways at Persepolis, and is variously interpreted as, it's also called, sometimes people call it Ahura Mazda, as the king's divine glory, or in modern Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrian usage, as a Fravasi, a guardian spirit. Of course, the Harvard Art Museum keeps a limestone fragment labeled Ahura Mazda in the winged disc in the Hall of 100 Columns in Persepolis. This image adapts an older Near Eastern winged disc familiar in Assyria and Egypt and retools it for imperial theology of Darius I. It was around 522 to 486 BCE. Scholars have long debated the identification. Older readings made it Ahura Mazda. Others, especially in Encyclopedia Iranica, argued the winged circle and the winged man represent emanations of royal glory. That's where you get that Faravana. Stylistic shifts from Assyrian square to Egyptian rounded wingtips between Bisoton and Persepolis tracks the evolution. In Beheston or Bisoton, around 520 BCE, above Darius and the chained rebels, the winged figure hovers, hand raised. Photographs of the relief and standard site dossiers show the placement. The inscription itself invokes a Ahura Mazda as Darius's divine legitimate. And then you see in Persepolis, early 5th century BCE, doorway lintels and carry the same figure now with rounded Egyptian-style feathers. Ironica's Persepolis entry explicitly interprets the winged circle man as symbols of God-given fortune, rather than an ancestor spirit or a literal portrait of the god.
It's funny about the ancestor spirit part because you have both the Persepolis, right, which would be Persian, right?
Yeah,
so when they talk about Perseus in the Greek mythology, they might as well be saying that Persian guy because that's sort of what it means. And also you have Farsi, right? So his name in I guess the royal context has that FAR connotation, which then goes back to kind of that spirit of a people, right? So you've got the PER and the FER that are sort of coming together with this one icon. So it seems to me like there's a lot more of that, tribal or ancestral spirit going on than maybe they're giving it credit for.
What it meant then, there is no single ancient key that explains every element. Competing scholarly readings, you could present, there's a couple of different ways of looking at it. Ahura Mazda, the god, museum labels, especially Harvard, call the figure Ahura Mazda and a winged disc, matching royal inscriptions that credit Ahura Mazda for the king's victories. Then you can look at it as royal glory. Again, Ironica's iconography articles argue that the winged circle and winged man represent the emanating glory that authorizes kingship, not an ancestor soul and not always a literal god portrait. The shift from Busoton to Persepolis is part of this case. And then this is the modern Zoroastrian reading, and popular, rooted in textual ideas of the prophecy, but projected onto Achaemenid art much later. Yeah, so fuck that all up, put that last paragraph, but basically the Zoroastrians took it over. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting to actually bring that one up because I have seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a playoff, in like my opinion, just a winged fucking Egyptian winged disc.
Right. As well as Baal, right? So the Baal version that you see in Carthage is like this sun disk above Tanit, which would be the more triangular goddess. And so that Baal sun disk looks so much similar to that, as well as the Egyptian version of the sun disk, which, it's all sort of playing off of those squint motifs, right? If you squint at this, you're going to see all of those other motifs sort of blending into one. So they kind of keep it true to the basic form and then sort of build off of it culturally. Like they were saying with the rounded wings versus the square ones of the original Sumerians.
Oh, you know what? I got some pictures too I can show. There's another one.
Looks like a magician in a circle. Magic
yeah,
right there.
Yeah. And he's got his cup of water with him.
Right. Sun disk over top of the people.
Yeah.
It's just from all the philology, it sounds really similar to what a spirit of a people would be, considering all of the roots that go straight back to what they define as their culture. So I don't know. I mean, for them to go that hard on this is not an ancestral spirit. It's like, why are you going that hard on it? It's kind of obvious that maybe it has some ancestral heritage, especially look, they went from this Egyptian or the Sumerian style square wings over to the rounded wings of the Egyptians. So it had to be so important to their people that it would keep going. And I think, having that magical element to it as well. And this is sort of a symbol of good fortune. How are you making that good fortune?
can see the wingtips change drastically.
Now he's carrying another ring in his other hand in this one, but in that other one he's got a
chalice
cup of water.
Yeah, like
right.
a chalice or something. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, when I said cup of water before, I meant to say chalice. Yeah, he's got his chalice because that would be a something you could be holding, a magician, especially in your circle.
Exactly. Is he being handed that, or is he handing it to someone else? Is there a snake? It looks like there's a snake around it.
Yeah, it sucks. You don't know what the hell's on this thing. Like,
you can kind of tell those are feathers, right? Down below the hand, you can see the feathers, and he's doing the sort of benediction hand, only, not exactly, but he's doing it over top of the cup, probably blessing it. And it has something to do with that snake that's wrapped around the cup. But, there's so many different snake and cup motifs that it's pretty interesting that this one would be a continuation of that. Well, I've got some questions from a listener, but guys, you've got to send your interesting dream / occult esoteric experiences to my mailbag. That is Headless's magical mailbag, right? Headless.
You don't understand. I'll be totally honest with you. The numbers I get, I'm surprised you aren't flooded with fucking shit. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't get it at all. Like, right. What do all our listeners smoke fucking weed and they don't dream anymore? Like, fuck.
I don't know.
Like, I'm not even trying to brag. I think you should be flooded with your fucking mailbag, dude. I'm not even trying to be cocky.
Right. Well, I think people get nervous, and if you are nervous about it, just put in there that you don't want your name to be read.
Yeah.
And I won't read your name. It's pretty simple. But I've got this from Joe Ferguson. Hey guys, it's Joe Ferguson again. This time I have a question. First off, I want to say I love the Occult Rejects, just about every episode I have enjoyed. But I have a question for you and Nick. I am a middle-aged man who is a homosexual. Maybe you have heard of us. I joke, but I've never really heard of you guys talk about your personal views on homosexuality. Maybe I haven't listened to those episodes or avoid controversy. Is it something that you guys don't comment on much? And honestly, it does really matter. I love the content, the subject matter, research, all you guys do, but I have heard some comments, and it would seem to the untrained ear that it would be homophobic slurs. But I am not implying at all I am one of those flags carrying, screwing in the streets type of gays. So I guess he's just talking about our feelings on homosexuality, and if you're keeping it inside of your house, like,
where the fuck did this question come from?
I don't know.
Like, I could give two flying fucks when anybody sucks a fucks, to be totally honest with you. You could cut your dick off, stick it up your ass, and go fuck a furry if you want. I could care less what anybody does. And honestly, I want to ask, what the fuck does that have to do with magic?
Well, there are some things
about magic. What the fuck does it have to do about sexuality, my thought on sex, on politics, or anything? This shit is getting out of control with this type of shit. Why the fuck does my thoughts on everything have to make you feel good about something?
Right.
I mean, this shit is just. I mean, I'm not.
You got to make sure.
Give two flying fucks if somebody sucks pussy or cock.
You got to make sure that everybody has the perfect set of beliefs and values as you do, so that you can enjoy their content online. I got a problem though. You're never going to find somebody with all of your values.
Yeah, Cody, we don't talk about sex magic on here, so I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just seeing somebody's comment. Well, sex magic, maybe. We don't talk about that either.
Right. We do talk about fertility.
I don't talk about drugs, because I'm not trying to promote any of that shit, because those are two things people can get lost down.
Right. We do talk about fertility, but that's because people have mistaken it so much to be all about sex magic that they don't see the fertility in their own lives, which leads to a lot of creative stuff, right? Fertility energy leads to creativity. And that's sort of what you need so that you can get out of the rut. So it's
maybe
not
it's
always
because
about
I keep saying obelisks aren't dicks, and the guy thought I just didn't like cock.
Could be.
What the fuck? That was just so weird. Like this, I don't think I've ever said one thing about like shit on gay people.
Right.
Like, where the fuck does that come from?
I don't know. But there's
I'm sorry, this guy's out. I just think it's silly as fuck, dude. That was a silly fucking question.
Yeah.
Like, why does it matter what I think about that?
Right. And it's one of those things where if if you really want to know about a person, maybe the best place to get to know them isn't on the show. Like maybe talk to them outside of the show. But what do I know? But no, seriously, seriously, folks. So I did a live stream yesterday with Prometheus Lens.
Oh,
So I
yo,
just
that
want
dude is awesome. Good dude.
to, right.
Solid guy.
We were talking a lot about that fertility energy, and we were talking about specifically the Oklahoma land rush as a fertility right. And so once you start plugging in all the different factors, you see that there was no Oklahoma City in 1889. And then after one day, there was Oklahoma City because they just fired the cannon. Everybody went out there, grabbed their land, and then got to work. It was everything that you see in Oklahoma now was built 1889 and later. There was nothing there before that. So if you want to talk about a powerful fertility magic, giving away land, having all these people rush the plains and then driving stakes into the ground where they're marking their own territory sounds like a magical ritual, at least in abstraction to me. And for Oklahoma City specifically, they put 4 parks in the 4 different quadrants. So northeast, you've got one park. South east, you've got another quadrant. And so all of these are laid out exactly how the homesteaders would have plotted out their land for their claims. So in a lot of ways, you could see that, you know, the fertility was in the connecting of people with land, right? That's sort of what got it started in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's a terraformed state. So all of the dams, all of the lakes that you see are not natural. They actually dammed up these rivers and started changing the climate. So now Oklahoma has a huge biodiversity that they wouldn't have without the people doing their part and sort of changing the barren wasteland to something habitable. And when they talk about Indian wars and all the rest of that stuff, that wasn't Oklahoma after 1889. Like they just got along and they did what they had to do to make things better. They weren't in constant warfare like people associate with the Midwest. So to me, it seems like if you're going to maybe model a society around having these frontiers and able to connect people to the things that they want to do, you're going to see a lot more benefit in society if that's the case. You've got to have this sort of fertility mindset, right? People talk about abundance mindset and not being limited. And so in some ways, I think that's really what's needed is looking to those forces and not, you know, turning to your own black pill. Like there's ways that you can use your own creativity and your means of connecting to other people, creating a new land rush in a certain frontier all on your own. And you can kind of see that happening with Bitcoin, right? They created the frontier. All these people rushed in. But yeah, it's a magical ritual, I think.
You see Cody Johnson in there saying that his family worked on the trail. No, walked on the trail in 1907. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scottish grandpa and married a Cherokee grandma and walked the trail.
Wow. Okay. So the Trail of Tears, wasn't that in the 1850s?
She likes that white sugar.
Well, that's the thing too. There was a lot of blending on the plains. I mean, my family is like 1/16 Native American. That goes way back. And wow. Yeah. And that comes through I forgot his name. He's an existential poet that is in our family line. Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's a distant cousin. I'm sure you've heard of him before, but
yes,
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Yes, that's a distant cousin of yours?
Yeah.
Okay, guy. Right.
So, you know, he had a lot of, you know, really huge impacts in the occult space. And that's where a lot of the Native American influence came through in my family, is from his side of the family. So kind of interesting.
You know, real quick, I want to ask, is there some people in the chat? I think it's actually showing people commenting from the vertical. The vertical. How do you guys like that? I don't know if anybody's going to give an answer real quick, but I see, yeah, because it's actually showing up on my YouTube as 2 separate lives, and that kind of irks me. But if you guys like the vertical one, let me know. I'll keep going, but I don't know if it makes a difference. It's supposed to be for people's phones. Because like on some comments, it looks like there's like a phone or a tablet next to it. Someone said fine. All right. That one other person says I like the other way better. All right. Well, Nephilim Hunter, you could probably click on the other one and check it out. But I don't know. I never used it before. I figured I'd try it now, but I didn't know I was going to send out 2 different ones. Kind of looks silly on my YouTube page.
Right. Well, maybe he gets more eyes on it because you got 2 separate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One thing I just do want to say too, like with this show, even when I started out, I used to even kind of like shit on politics, but I would shit on both sides. I don't even talk about politics anymore. I'm not trying. This show is for anybody who's willing to listen. I could shit on the Democrats one week, and somebody could hear that and be a Democrat, and then not listen that I just shit, brought up the Franklin scandal. It was all Republicans, fucking kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even playing that shit anymore. This channel is for anybody who wants to listen. And obviously, if I feel that way, I don't have problems with people. I'm not selling shit. I'm not trying to tell anybody to walk with me down to the fucking end of the world. I'm not growing a cult. I'm actually authentic and want people just to listen and try to learn.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who you are. White, black, brown, gay, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself these days. I don't give a shit. I just want to leave it like that. All right.
Well, you got it.
I think no matter what, anybody can have experience with God. And if they're willing to try to do that, they can listen to my show.
Right.
Sorry.
But it's funny because most of the time people who are selling experiences with God have very rarely ever had them themselves. And they very insistently want your money. So if that's the way people are used to,
Yes, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like I'm giving a gift. So why the fuck am I going to charge people? I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Right.
Doing God's work, silly as it sounds. That's how I feel sometimes. So I'm not going to charge for that.
In a lot of ways, like
the Blues Brothers, we're on a mission from God, bro.
In a lot of ways, you could see that, us going down to Arizona as being like a gift from the audience. These are people who tune in and they boost our channel up and everything else. So,
Yeah, that was a blast. Dude. I had so much fucking fun. I really like being able to, meeting you in person. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
No, like I said, it was just like, it was like we've known each other the whole time. It wasn't weird or anything. Mike and Dave, I love seeing them. Meeting Cody in person, that was fucking awesome. Cody's cool as shit. The Tridactyl guy, I can't believe he was there. I got that guy almost the whole time he was there. I would go to his booth just to give him the vaporizer to get him lit. That guy was, what's funny? Like, I actually got to like talk to him for a while. And he was even telling me, like, he's like, this is what I do all day. He's like, I get slightly buzzed. And he's like, I look at these fucking scans of these bodies and just go snip, thing by thing. And I was like, fuck, this guy's like, he's really into this shit, man.
Right.
It's his passion. Like, he's a weird, funny dude, but.
Well, if you like Ed, he's going to be making the rounds next year for sure. He's articulate. He can get up on stage and present himself.
No, he should have spoke.
Right.
Yeah, I think he should. I think him and Heather, like we said, should have been there.
Right. Heather Lynn would have been, she would have blown him away. And what we noticed at the conference is that they didn't focus so much on North American ancient history. And that's not their fault. They're mostly engaged in all of these political conflicts around the world with these ancient sites that they're turning into basically playgrounds for a bunch of tourists. So they're trying to make sure that there's some sort of study that continues going on and continues happening, and that they just don't seal these things up and say, hey, we're not doing any more studies, so we're not going to get to the bottom of any of these mysteries that you guys really want to answer. So I think for them, they're not really seeing North America as that kind of a place, but we all know. I mean, how many guests have we had on the show talking about these ancient sites in North America that have just been covered up and bulldozed and everything else?
Even that guy Vince. Oh, he's another one. I totally forgot before we went away. He wanted to come on. That guy, he's even covering shit in North Carolina. That makes no sense.
Right. Right. So, we all got to stay in our lanes and we got to keep pushing harder. Guys, I know you care about the North American ancient landscapes. That's why you keep coming back for this. So if you guys got tips or any kind of guests that you would want to come on and talk about the mounds, talk about this stuff, feel free to send them to my email, right? headlessgiantpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll try to get those up. But again, we need your stories. Your stories.
Guest suggestions, especially if they're like, listen, don't like ask me to have like someone like 2 million followers. Like, obviously, I'm probably not gonna be able to pull that person. But it's realistic guests, please send them, because I mean, right now it's kind of like slim pickings. I'm basically just taking people who write for, who published on Wiser and Inner Traditions or like academics. Like, I love those guests, but I would like somebody different,
Right.
So,
and experiencers too. If you
yes.
Love to get them on.
You know who I got? I got another Heather Lynn coming on. Remember the lady who wrote, I think you actually might have suggested this a long time ago when she wrote it, Baphomet Revealed.
Yeah.
She's coming on. Yeah, I got her coming on because she writes for Wiser, and they sent me, Wiser hit me up yesterday and sent me 3 authors and like, yo, would you like to get these on? I was like, fuck yeah. That's pretty impressive, though. It's wild to know that I got like Wiser Books sending me authors now. Like, that's
right.
Fucking blows my. It's like coming first full circle after being like, just even the ties with the OTO. You know what I'm saying? Because like even James Wasserman worked for them. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, what the fuck? This is so wild.
Right. Yeah. Well, I remember going to the bookstore and always looking for that section. I mean, at least in more of the modern bookstores, maybe not the used bookstores, but the Wiser books were always right there with those 101 level, kind of things that I think have helped out a lot of people. What the thing that frustrates me is there's no like 102 to 104 levels. Within,
yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I think, and then after I get a couple of them on, I might hit up Llewellyn. Be like, oh, I got Wiser and Inner Tradition sending me authors. You want to send me some? See what happens.
There we go.
Get all 3 of them. That'd be fucking impressive. Then I could try to get Mavis on, because I'll ask to have her on, and then they'll ask Mavis to come on my show.
Right. There you go. It's a nice full circle.
So funny. I've had a boyfriend on, but I cannot get her on the fucking show.
It's like trying to get a Gnostic informant on. The guy will say he'll do it, but
he's at least said yes twice. This girl won't even answer me. And she's had once somebody even asked her for me, and she's like, I don't want to do any podcasts anymore. For a while, for a minute. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. She's another person who's like, I think, dealing with bullshit from Elamites and the OTO.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Well, any institution with any kind of influence whatsoever is going to have political intrigue within its ranks. So we try to stay away from that.
Yeah. I will say, I will say though, when it comes to the OTO, they kind of fuck women in positions. That I will totally agree with that, and that's one of their issues. You really ain't getting anywhere farther than a fucking priestess, but yet there's all these other roles for men. I do agree. That's a little fucking shitty. If you're capable of doing the job, who the fuck cares?
Right. But
that's just my opinion.
Every organization has their own limitations, but it's funny that they would be the champions of women's rights, and then, you can only get to priestess.
But see, this could be like a double-edged sword here. It's like, but you knew that going in, so why do you want to change it? It's kind of rough. That's like, whatever. There were certain things that was changed, and I really didn't give a fuck about. It was weird that they changed it, but it was like, you knew it wasn't like this before you joined, and now you're asking us. Yeah, it just makes no sense.
Right. Well, I really like the way that the spiritualist churches do their training for reverends and their people. They have them basically stuck to the side of one of the more established reverends, and they go all around the different spiritualist churches, sort of one-on-one tutoring these people. And you don't really see any kind of practical application for like a thelematic priest. Like, do you actually go out and do any sort of community engagement work or anything like that? Or is it just...
That's a good point. Not like the Masons. They didn't go out and do much.
Well, even the Masons, they have their own charities, right?
That's what I'm saying. At least they go out and blow money on people too. To try to make up for being shitheads. Yeah, and then again, that's like, probably the 3%. But, again, yeah, you're right. The OTO doesn't go out and do anything. Not that I ever noticed.
Well, that might be something that needs to change, because if you've got a lot of baggage in your crew and you're not doing a little bit of that community service, people aren't ever going to lose that perspective. Really.
It's kind of funny how people's opinion of somebody can change when they start giving them things.
Absolutely.
I know. I hate to say it. The human psychology is fucked up like that. Oh, not too bad. They gave us turkeys this year for Thanksgiving.
Right.
They can't be all Satanists.
Right. BlackRock gave us a turkey, so
Yeah, they're okay with me. Yo,
so
Sophia Daisy May is asking again. I'm still trying to learn what this channel is about. I mean, demystifying magic. That's about the only thing I can say at this point.
Right. Well, we started out thinking that we would get a lot of emails that we could talk about with the paranormal experiences, and then we switched over to having some, symbolic studies before that. And now we're just shooting the shit because none of you guys have sent in your occult experiences. So we'll get more eventually.
I think she meant overall. I think that whole channel itself, because she's asked that before. Yeah, what is this channel about? I mean, I guess it's really just demystifying the occult, trying to figure out what it is, trying to find the good in it too, I think so many people out there and so many channels are already proving the bad out of it. I'll try to show whatever good there is in it. So.
Oh, there she goes. I love spirit. Well, you're in the right place for it, Sophie.
Yeah, if you listened before, I was saying I think everybody can have an experience with God. So,
right.
There we go.
Everybody's asking about the conference too.
It was a blast.
Absolutely.
I was lit the whole fucking time.
It was really hard to get anything done other than film for other people. I was good at doing that.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? I don't know what happened. I only got like half that Billy Carson recording. Like my fucking thing fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's only like half of the recording then. I was like, fuck.
I don't know, man.
You know what's fucked up? He followed me back on Instagram, but didn't follow fucking Dave.
Oh,
Dave was even like, he's like, he even said, he's like, he pulled up my account. He watched him. He's like, he just tapped the screen and then closed it. He's like, he didn't even hit follow. I was like, I'm going to be hit mine by accident.
He got big done by Billy Carson.
Like, listen, I mean, people, whatever. I think the guy's kind of silly myself, but I mean, the guy's got 1.7 million followers.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, we got to try and get him on. Maybe.
I know. I'll ask him.
Yep.
I mean, not for nothing. That's a big fucking name.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have him on
right,
just so like, the Alt Media United crew gets jealous.
Right. Well, that's how we do
like,
it.
There must be controlled opposition. They got Billy Carson on.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's got.
I met him twice and I annoyed him. I bugged him 20 times. That's why he said yes. This to shut me the fuck up, probably.
Right. What he does is he tries to create a cosmic moral play out of everything he does to try and get people to be better people. And on some level, I can agree with that. It's like, that's a noble effort. I see where you're coming from, Billy, but you don't have to lie about everything to get people to that place.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. He was really like rah at that fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. You're like, I'm ready to join the Billy Carson cult.
He started in doomsday cultism, and he's just sort of maintained that pace ever since. It's like the doomsday is coming, and we've got to do this and this and this, and we've got to be better to each other because it's going to be here soon. It's like, okay, can we do that without the doomsday stuff? Like, do we need the... I guess that gets people a sense of urgency or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's been our show. And guys, make sure to send us those emails, and we will read them for you guys. And thank you for checking out the channel. Definitely like, subscribe, and share. Especially on Facebook groups that are into the occult and metaphysical.
Post these up there. Yeah. Those are actually key places to drop. You know what's crazy? I'm in all these groups. I'm not allowed to drop my own shit. It's so stupid. It's like you can't promote your own stuff. I'm like, fuck. So yeah, other people, I guess, will have to drop it instead. It's so silly. I've never seen. I'm like, how does this work?
I could peel from your channel, you could my channel, and we just cross pollinate.
Oh, yo, right? Yeah, I could just post the Headless Giant. Yeah, that's right. Fuck, that's smart. All right, yeah, I'll have to try that out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Peace.